So if you've been on the internet for a while, you've probably seen this image. Coughing baby versus atomic bomb. Now, what if the baby had a chainsaw? That's exactly what I'm gonna be doing for today. Well, for 5 days actually, but yeah. You see, I'm gonna use Corin against ZZZ's endgame content. Knowing that Corin is an A-rank agent released all the way back in 1.0, we can expect a good challenge. So, let's not wait around too long and get right into it. Before anything else, I want to mention that my Corin is already built a bit. Well, if you want to call level 30 with a level 20 W engine build, that is. She was actually the first DPS I chose to use when I first started playing this game. So, me and her actually go way back. Sadly enough, that did not save her from my judgment. Yeah, you look like you can murder people. This angle is... It's so funny. Wait. That aside, what do we actually have to do today? We should think about what team we are going to be using and on what we are going to spend our energy. First, I'd like to talk about the team building. You see, I have Astra and could use her with my Corin. The only issue is that if I want to activate Corin her resonance skill, I need someone from Victoria Housekeeping or a physical unit in the team. And keep in mind that this has to be a stunner, seeing as Corin really needs one to do some good damage. The only person that fits this description is Lycaon. Wait.
Lycaon.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. From now on, he's Wolfman. The problem is that I don't have him, so I wished on a standard banner. Yes, I know, this is stupid, but you know me, I never lose these, man. I need a wolf. I need the big bad wolf. That is not the big bad wolf. Well, guess I'll just have to get lucky again in the next 5 days. Anyways, time for our batteries. I was fully able to level up Corin and get some of her cores. And you may be thinking, that's a lot of progress in a day. Yeah, so I'm actually using 640 batteries a day just because I'm rich like that. So technically that's 10 days worth of stamina and this is clickbait. But that doesn't matter. The whole limited amount of time premise is just a way to make you click, keep your attention, and give me structure for my video. Anyway, day 2! It's day 2 and I added a new part to my daily routine. I actually have a big brain move here. I'm gonna use this. Get myself some more damage. Big brain move. I don't know why I was so proud of myself because this isn't even that far out of the box, but hey, past me was happy about it, so who cares? Today the menu consists of engine levels, cores, and talents. And I haven't talked about this yet, but why is Corin kinda nasty? Like, she actually does some good damage for my investment already. And to top it off, she always ends with some sick ass pose for some reason. Like, you're not gonna tell me this shot doesn't remind you of that one scene where Yuji chases down Mahito from JJK? Or am I looking too much into this and do I need to touch on grass? You decide. Anyway, after maxing out our W engine and cores, for now, we already spent some energy on talents. After that, it was time for day 3, and I have something embarrassing to share. You see, in my Harumasa video, I spent around 2 hours retrying to defeat Bringer with my Harumasa only. I also posted this video on HoYoLab, where someone pointed out that you can just lower the boss's level, which makes it easier to get the materials. So, having acquired this new skill, I surely put it to use, right? Right? Well, I kinda wanted to see how strong my Corin was at this point. And despite the ballerinas respawning a couple of times, the weekly boss was fairly easy. The boss drop makes it possible to finish up leveling our cores for this challenge. Then after doing some more pulls in hopes of getting lucky, but of course miserably failing, we finished off our talents. Now that my Corin was practically built, it was time for disk drives. And normally I would be all dramatic and stuff and say that I'm not looking forward to this, but this time by some miracle I actually got lucky. Yes, I know, it's insane. I felt like the ZZZ gods were watching down on me. Or they were just giving me some hope so they can strike me down later. That's also possible, I guess. Day 4 has arrived, and while I show you some footage of me farming discs, I'm gonna share a concern with you. In my opinion, Corin's damage doesn't feel like that of an A rank. Her A rank status actually comes from somewhere else. You see, while she has the possibility to do a lot of damage, she is only able to output it in limited situations. You really need to rely on the enemy standing still. since the majority of the attacks you do also have you, the player, standing still. It's also very important to avoid using your dash attack because the multipliers on it are absolute ass, which limits your movement even more. This wouldn't be an issue if I had a stunner, but yeah, we've talked about this. So I decided it was time to take measures. My Corin was as good as ready. I just had to level up the discs I had gotten. But the thing is, her teammates weren't good enough for her. They couldn't keep up. So instead of starting my last day with Corin, it was time for a training arc. It took me about 2 weeks, but I was able to get the wolf through the 5-star selector, while also building him to the required minimum. The same for Astra, who I hadn't finished building previously. You can see their builds on screen right now. Finally, now that my teammates were on the same power level, I felt ready to start the last day. I used the last of my available batteries in the hope of getting better discs, and after that, got to leveling them. And all of this went alright. I mean, I definitely had some good luck, but definitely also some bad luck. The fill build is also on screen right now. But instead of getting frustrated by the bad rolls, I made use of them. And there was only one man who could help me with that. Or should I say, one bang boo. That's right, I'm talking about John. Let me explain and of course also show you. Let's start by clearing the last floor of shield defense before going to deadly assault. Okay, so why is John so important? I had some of my rolls go into anomaly proficiency. Together with John, who applies a lot of physical anomaly, I would be able to proc assault more frequently, which boosted my damage output by a lot. But never mind all that. Are you seeing these numbers? This is an A rank. It's actually pretty crazy to me how Corin is outputting this much damage. She's doing around 690k damage per ult. And yes, I tried to count every proc individually, don't judge me please. And you have to keep in mind that she's not even at her max potential yet. Plus, the enemy isn't even weak to physical. We had no issue clearing the stage and had enough time to clear the other half. Time for the real challenge killer, Deadly Assault. I picked this buff because it sounded the best for my team, since, like I explained earlier, Corin really wants those stunts. I also tested this out later and it turned out I was correct. But never mind that, let's start the fight. And just when I thought the damage couldn't get any crazier, I mean just look at this. It's way too satisfying to look at all the numbers pop up. Sometimes I actually felt bad for the enemy having this chainsaw constantly being poked into you, but yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do I guess. But you know what's not satisfying to look at? The stupid star missing. Me and John gave it a couple more attempts, and this is the highest score I got. I don't see this as a failure though, I'm not even gonna lie. In all honesty, I expected less. Corin genuinely surprised me, and I might actually still use her in the future, since the chainsaw is just that much fun to use. That's it, subscribe.